Right, hello everyone. Welcome to Sunday night, Archilly 9505, and we are with Wheelspin Racing League first at 6 p.m. start time, and HRF1 at 8 p.m. Looking forward to both of them. And this one, Wheelspin Racing League, is, as you can see on your screen, it's COTA, so Austin, Texas tonight, and it's going to be well, as it stands right this second, it's going to be a short qualifying followed by 50% race, which is 28 laps. Hey, Glads. Evening, mate. Hope you're well. Um, so, yeah. A little unsure why we're struggling the attendance here. We got, 16 signed up. There was 17, but somebody else that must have changed theirs. So, there should be 16 here for this race. We got Bob, we got Mr. Heat Gang, we got I think I called him 92, 96 last week. XZX, XZX. I'll just call him Z. I don't know. That one anyway. Um, Ghost Rider, Glads, Tomo, Baz, Winterplace, Jan, Checo, Tornado. Kai's not in yet. But Loco, we're missing at the moment. Peaky Blinder, whoever that is. That's the new driver, I think. Abel's here. Isn't in yet. Delatrine's joined. Felix, if the gamer tag's the same and it's WRL Felix, they're not in yet either. So, anyway, as I say, stands, it's going to be short qualifying. Hey, Ghost Rider. I don't know, mate. I have no idea. What week was it? Was it last? No, I've got a feeling it was a couple of weeks ago. At one point during the day, I don't know how you managed to actually do this, but we had like 23 signed up as Jesses, and then we got here, it was like 16 or 17 or something. I was like, what's going on? A couple of them joined in qualifying, but I don't know, Glads, but it's not on. Yeah, it does Ghost Rider out. Yeah, I ain't really got to clamp down on that sort of thing in leagues, I think. Otherwise, people just take the mickey. You know, you got Bob and whoever else helping him to run the league, and they put the time into it and everything, and literally all you got to do is say whether you can make it or not. And not quite sure how people can actually get that wrong. So see, we should be going now, but so I'm guessing. Oh well, actually, Bob's read it up, so looks like this is all we're gonna have done tonight. 12. Yes, Delatrine's come into reserve for Haas. Peaky Blinder Mercedes. Felix should be Williams, but neither of them have joined in. say, two that are actually signed up, like regulars that are signed up, that aren't turned up are Piccoloco and Abel's here, I believe. I think all the others are there. So, then Kai hasn't turned up. Kai Piccoloco, Abel's here. Right then guys, we head into qualifying. So I was just typing out a message in the Discord a moment, asking where people are, but here I am in a way, back with you. So, COTA, quite a cool track. I think most people quite like it. I don't think that was always the case. I can remember COTA coming into the game and it's quite a lot of moans, as there is with quite a lot of the new tracks. Ghost Rider. Hoping for a few safety cars to keep bunching the pack up. Yeah, I guess with a low number it would be good if the pack got bunched up every so many laps. But great opportunity to score points, of course, for everyone. So out on track first then is an Aston Martin, so I think it's Bob out first. Take a little look at the track with him. It's quite a cool track. It's a very difficult set to run, but the rest of the track's reasonably straightforward. So with the difficulty level of set to one, that's obviously where a lot of time tends to be able to be gained. Lovely bit of weather there. Sun absolutely beaming down the straight. And I've got a feeling that you see that again going into the final corner. It can really obscure your braking, especially if you're... Well, I was going to say especially if you're no line, but actually it's probably the other way. It's probably worse if you are line. So, walking around. That right-hander there that you've just seen Bob go through, it's probably become quite a difficult corner in the game, mainly because it's pretty important nowadays to run a higher front wing than rear wing, and that corner doesn't like it, so you've got to be a bit careful because it will try and pull you round and into the wall. I'd be amazed if we don't see anybody spin there tonight at some point. Bob running, and you get a good view here of set to one. I can back a little bit, just take my phone off the Wi-Fi, that'll probably stop that. Yeah, good view of Sector 1 and its complexity. There's lots of the very first part of Sector, you know, you got turn 1, obviously the heavy braking, and then the next few corners are sort of flat out, but you've got to get your turn-ins right, otherwise it's going to affect the next corner. Then you've got a sort of a slight brake or a lift, heavy lift. It's technical is the word I'm trying to look for. Sector 2, 103.9 for a bob through Sector 2. So with the changes that were made in Abu Dhabi, the changes that are going to be made to Singapore, and the possibility that Spa-Francorchamps is going to be removed from the F1 calendar at some point could make this... I'm really trying to think now before I say this, but I think it could make Texas the longest lap. As Gladster's a 1:34.1, Ghost Rider 35.7, Bob Dylan 35.9. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm trying to think of other tracks that have got a longer lap that aren't, you know, that aren't going to be changed. But top of my head, I can't think of any. So I think once all the amendments are made, there's ZX. That's it. That's what I want, innit? ZX. That's what we call him. 34.3 in the Ferrari. Went to place. Just coming up to the final corner. Somebody else just went up. I think that was Tomo 34.4. No, it was an Alpha, so it was Jan 34.8. That's Winter Place 35.8. And that's the first runs completed for quite a lot of those guys. Mr. Heat Gang here has just started his first run. Rubber driver's getting nicely out of the way. Straight. Really keeping it to the right hand side here. Against you a few hundredths down the straight. Just come off of it a little bit before the corner. So yeah, just before that curve is where I come off of it. Yeah, just gives you a few hundredths. It's not much, but it's every little helps, as they say. 103.7 from Mr. Heat going through Sector 2, so we know that's a couple of attempts quicker than Bob Dylan went through. Heat going cross line then, 34.8. That puts him into P5, just behind his teammate at this point. Golden Tornado goes fastest already on a 33.9. Red Bull getting way out of the way over there. I think that's Baz on an outlap, just getting out of people's way. And I don't think anybody's on a hot lap now, I think. Ooh, Winter Place actually gone across the line again, so that wasn't a hot lap he's completed, but it might mean he's gone on to one. Let's take a look at him through Sector 1. Definitely using energy, so I'm confident he is on a lap. That sun is absolutely blinding. Yeah, 8.5 temps up on this run, so it's looking like he's going to be heading into the 34s. It's looking like where you're going to need to be to get a decent qualifying here. Comes into place then down to the final corner, through there pretty nicely. DRS open 34.6, that puts him into P5 for the moment. Bob on an 8 lap on his Delatrine. Yeah, Paz the only other one on the lap at the moment. He's behind us on track, so stick with Delatrine. That's right. Tyrannical teapot, yeah. Everything's bigger in America, including the sun, apparently. Massive, isn't it? What is going on? No, I know, it's a bit of a nightmare. And round we go for Delatrine. I said I'd be amazed if we didn't see anybody spin there, and there we go, there's the first one. It's become quite a common sight to see people spinning around that right-hander. I guess, ultimately, that's where the driver's got to take a decision, isn't it, of, you know, how high do they run the wing, and, you know, is it maybe better to run a little bit lower just on the front, just to avoid spins during the race. Obviously in qualifying you want to up it and take the opportunity to try and take your fastest lap, but in race it may not be the best idea. Sort of personal choice, I guess. As there's a 35.7. Is Checo just starting the lap. Yeah, down the back straight, and yeah, it doesn't look too bad into the final corner, because I know it does get up there as well, but it doesn't look, so for the ones I've seen go through the final corner, it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, the back straight's absolutely glaring. So Checo down to the hairpin. Onto the straight, and it's done. Opens up the DRS. Can't see a thing. Where is that braking line? Braking point. Right handers. Just be a bit careful on if you're a no traction driver through here. It's getting late on the brakes into the late apex left-hander, and here we go again round this right-hander. There was just a slight lift there from Checo, if you heard that. Checo with just under 6 minutes to go now, wants to get a time on the board here. It's more important than for him than trying to get the fastest run he could do in first time, get one on the board first. So 36.5 for Checo, that's in P11. Delatrine's back into the pits. Rolling Tornado is back out there. And he's just heading onto the straight. Just over half a tenth off in sector 1. Ooh, as Tomo goes fastest for the Haas on 33.6. I don't know if anybody saw it. Well, any UK drivers or people watching. But Gunter was on breakfast show this morning on Channel 4 in the UK. Actually came across pretty well. 33.5 then from Golden Tornado, puts himself back to the top. And ZX then also improving. And over the line, it's a 33.9. That moves him ahead of Glads into P3. He's on an out lap. Checo, we know he's not on a lap. Oh, actually, is Checo? No, okay. I don't know if he started another lap or not, but there we go. So no, nobody on a hot lap. Pulled out Mr. Heat Gang then. Still our hilly hot lap with Mr. Heat Gang, so DRS open, head up to turn 1. It's late braking, late turn in to hit the apex. Little bit of curve is okay. Get on the power as quick as you can, open up steering. Flat out through the right, left, and then right again. Lift in order to go through into the left-hander, and then the double right. Quick left, and be a bit careful on the exit coming out of this right as you go to the left. Very easy to spin there. Flat out now down to the hairpin. As always with hairpins, multiple ways you could take it. It may depend if you're going for a move, you may go a bit deeper into the corner and slingshot back. But DRS open again now. As we go driving into the sun, very difficult to see. And you'll see that he brakes around about the 100 metre board. And so the left-hander. To right now, this is where I said, just be a bit careful. If you're a no traction player, there's a little bit lower traction here. And then into this deep into the left-hander before you turn in, just to give, it allows you to open up the steering on exit a little bit. So, and then ideally you want to be flat out through the right-hander and into this blind left, down to 5th, down to the final corner where the sun has definitely picked up a bit now. And DRS open again. That's a 34.5 from Heat Gang. That's a nice lap, improved by just over 3.5 tenths. And Jan is on an out lap, although he's very early on. So let's see who else we got. Baz is on an out lap, and it looks like he'll be next to cross the line. There's an Alpha Tauri. No, they are on an out lap, so I think that's Glads. So Baz just coming around to start his final run. He's early enough, if he was to make a mistake in sector 1, he's early enough that you could lift off and have another go, but ideally wants to nail it in 1, of course. Very nice for the first turn. It is one of those circuits, and I think it's becoming more commonplace these days actually in Formula 1 that they do like to give drivers these circuits where you've got contrasting sectors. So you've got sector 1 and 3 here are all about cornering ability, so higher downforce to aid in your cornering ability, whereas sector 2 is all about the straight line speed. There is a few corners in sector 2, but there's 4 in total, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, there's 6 actually. It's cool. Well, looks like a nice tidy lap so far from the Red Bull man. He heads into the quick right-hander. There is some time to be gained on that right-hander the closer you can keep it into the inside curve, but obviously the more you turn the wheel to keep it into the inside curve, the more chance of spinning. As Baz does a very nice lap, 7 tenths improvement on a 35.0, that puts him into P8. What else we got? That should be on a lap now, I believe. And that's the end of the straight. See, he keeps it well over to the right hand side. That opens up the turning as well, so it's the correct way. Just over half a tenth up at the moment. So that is sort of putting him in fact, that actually puts him 0.02 of a second ahead of Jan as it stands right now. Bit tentative through the blind left-hander. That may affect the lap. Over the line, does improve by 0.5 and not quite enough to get Jan. He did lose a bit of time, and it was that blind left-hander, I'm sure it was. Almost sort of went in there not confident that he was getting it right. Sorry, Heatgang was having a little spin there, but we know he's on an in-lap anyway, I believe. So, right, here comes Golden Tornado, and he improves again by over 3.5. It's a 33-1. Very nice lap from Tornado as Tomo spins over the line. There's another improvement there. I think that was Ghost Rider. It's just going to P7 on a 34.5. Heatgang finishes off. Bob Dylan is invalidated, and we've already seen Baz did his lap on the last run, so it's the last go round. Piccoloco has joined, so he will be in the race at least, so we're up to 13. That's something. Glad says I'm washed. You're definitely not, mate. Don't say that. It looked to me, Glads, like you had a little sort of a bit of a struggle in the blind left-hander at the end of the lap. Didn't look like you got through there properly, and it's worth quite a bit of time that if you absolutely nail it. So I suspect that made quite a big difference to your final time there. But Golden Tornado, you got to hand it to him. That is a fantastic lap time. 33.1 in qualifying is an exceptional time. So well done to him. Tomo in P2, just 4.5 behind. ZX in P3. Jan in P4. Glads in 5. Heatgang 6. Ghost Rider 7. Winter Place in P8. Baz 9. Bob Dylan 10. Checo 11. Delatrine in 12. And Piccoloco, who has joined for the race, will start from the back in P13. Heatgang tries to get on the power too early. I'm sure you'll be fine, Teapot. Or Golden Tornado. When I've been racing, I've been getting that glitch where I do the formation lap, but my tyres reset they reset the temperatures to 70 degrees when the race starts. But I'm glad to say that last night was the first time it hasn't happened for about 3 weeks. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it stopped doing that now. It's an absolute nightmare off the line. Especially if you like to start hards. I do prefer to start hards if I can, and it was a nightmare if you're starting on hards that are on 70 degrees. I mean, you're likely to lose a few places probably starting on hards in a way, but if you're starting on hards that are 70 degrees, you're likely to drop right down. So, here we go. Yeah. Tyres then. Everybody's gone mediums except 2 drivers, and they are... oh no, hang on, 3 drivers, my apologies. Tomo in P2, Jan in P4, and Ghost Rider in P7 have gone with the hards. So they will be looking to do their longer stints first. Nobody's starting on softs, which suggests nobody's trying to 2-stop, although it is still possible. Lots of people starting on the mediums, they could opt to change to a 2-stop, but by starting on the mediums, it widens the options for them, doesn't it? By, you know, they could 2-stop, but they could 1-stop. So saying about a 2-stop is not usually something you're likely to see in a 50% race. But if you are going to see one, the US, this track is one of the ones where potentially people can choose to do it. But I think, all in all, I think it's generally about 6 seconds slower across the race. But of course, you're 6 seconds slower, but there's less chance of making mistakes when you're on fresher tyres, which are always going to be on 2 stops. So there we are. In terms of strategy, so medium to hard, you're expecting the mediums to start coming in around about lap 12-ish, I would imagine. 11, 12, 13, maybe even 14. And the hard drivers I'd be expecting in around about lap 14 to 16. I doubt the game would say that early for hard tyre drivers, but you can do that normally, because if you use your mediums second, then obviously less fuel, less weight on them. I tend to be able to do an extra lap or two. As Tornado decides to do a little spin for us. Just a few disqualifications coming up. Tomo, ZX, Heat Gang, Pick Loco, all disqualified. It's don't matter too much. All lights on then as we prepare to get the race underway, and away we go. It looks like a Ferrari of ZX has had an absolutely wonderful start and flies into the lead way before we reach the corner. So up to P1 for ZX, Golden Tornado down to 2, Jan is up to 3, Tomo 4, and there's plenty going on there. Tomo is side by side pretty much with Mr. Heat Gang. Goes across the corner there. Let's get into on board. That's Glad's just nipping back the past the recovery, Mr. Heat Gang. Oh, but Glad's runs wide himself. Here he come. Mr. Heat Gang on the inside of the corner. Doesn't go for a switchback, which or a slingshot sort of effect. First corner running out wide on the hairpin may have left him a little bit vulnerable to those behind, so maybe better not to. This has got a superb run, but at the same time, Heat Gang was getting a bit of a run on Tomo, so he moved out to have a look himself. But these two go. Wonderful racing side by side from the two of them. Looks like Glad's. So Heat Gang's got the inside, but tends to be that there's more grip on the outside on corners like that. So that's what it appears to be. Ghost Rider's been round, and not sure that was on the right hand or just before it, but he's back going. I didn't notice then if there was any damage. Oh yeah, he's lost his ring. He's lost his ring entirely. It's always a nightmare if you're starting on hards as well. So, right then, battles. Where are they? Here's one. This is Winter Place. Our leader has picked up a drive-through for speeding under VSC. I didn't even know we had a VSC. So, Winter Place up the inside then of Mr. Heat Gang, and looks like he's got that done. And that is Winter Place up into P6. Ghost Rider has pitted, by the way, and got his new front wing and put a set of mediums on the car. Yes, ultimately he's going to be hoping for a safety car at some point now. Another battle materialising as Glads gets past Tomo, but Tomo not giving up on the place yet. Latrine, and we'll get us past Bob Dylan there. We'll go down to it. So we'll actually. So come out of there. Check you're having a little look at Bob as well. So not able to get past. As we move on to lap 3, so that enables DRS. And Checo close on the back, but not close enough. That Ferrari as well. It's Picoloco who started from the back, so he's trying to make his way through. Checo. Yeah. Bide your time. DRS open this lap, so you know you're going to get a real chance as we get a yellow flag. I think it's is it Picoloco? I think it is. End up round, and then we've got another yellow flag ahead, which is Baz. He's already recovered from his, but there you go, and down to... Oh, Checo's not got a good exit at the hairpin. Oh, but he seems to have a massive straight line speed compared to Bob Dylan. He's how far back has he come to make that move? Got that done by the looks of things. I mean, naturally, you would assume that if Checo's got that sort of straight line speed over Bob Dylan, that Bob Dylan's got the better cornering ability. He must be running a higher downforce. I think that's 38.2 from Golden Tornado, set fastest lap of the race so far. In fact, let's go to them. Well, he's just making a move. Now, ZX has a drive through. He's going to have to serve at the end of this lap, so not sure how much point there is in him really battling. They want to, of course. We all want to. Oh, Golden Tornado's round. Spun it in. Well, just going into sector 2 is where he spun it. Ghost Rider now, as he's looking to recover, sets fastest lap. Baz had to take a pit stop and has gone to medium tyres. And Ghost Rider did manage to just about get ahead of him. So, recovering nicely is Ghost Rider. And Golden Tornado, after that spin, gets going again in P6. And he's got Delatrine right on the back of him. So, presumably then, in he comes to serve the drive-through. Oh, he's managed to pick up 5 seconds, speeding into the pit lane to take the drive-through. That's never good. So, it looks like he's going to rejoin just after this Alfa Romeo, I think. So, after Heat Gang, or it might be after Checo. Checo's just coming up the left-hand side, as is Bob Dylan. And they do both go through, so he's going to rejoin in P10. And he's now going to have to serve 5 seconds on his pit stop as well. So, after all that, Jan has ended up in P1. With Glad's P2, Tomo P3. Tomo within DRS range of Glad's. And Glad's, remember, started on the mediums, whereas Jan and Tomo both started on hards. Now it's a double-edged sword because Glad's obviously would pit earlier to go to the hard tyres, and he will get a decent undercut when he pits. The only problem then, of course, is that the guys who start on hards were coming for the mediums, and they have a massive overspeed on anybody on hards then, so... So Delatrine has gotten past Golden Tornado. I think we'll move to this. So at the moment, well, remember we have 4 hard tyre starters. Only 2 of them are still on those hards. And they're currently running P1 and P3. So you would imagine if things carry on as they are, with no safety cars, that it should be a good day for those two. Head back to Bob, is he? No, I think it was ZX has gotten past Bob, who's just picked up 3 seconds, and ZX is now catching on to the back of Checo. Oh, I think that's Piccoloco. Similar spot to last time, I think. Drawing life there. Nothing quite materialising. We're just struggling a little bit for battles right now. Here is one. Checo just ran out of tarmac there. Just got to run around in the... Well, it was best to run around in the dirty air. There's the Alpha. What's this then? We've got ZX on the back as well. Go then, so XZX. Look at that straight line speed. We saw it earlier on against Bob, didn't we? How quick Checo is in a straight line. But that won't aid him for the breaking into and making turn 1. So XZX is ahead of Checo then. Forget he's got a 5-second penalty, so you have to serve that when he comes into the pits. Piccoloco is into the pits. Presumably a front wing change, you would imagine. Either that or he's coming because the mediums he was on just ended up getting too hot because of the spin. It's Tomo then. I'm glad. So now we're on lap 7. Around about lap 9, the mediums really will start feeling it a bit around here. So gradually, you would think that Glads will gradually find it a little bit harder. Now, Glads is gradually himself pulling Jan into him as well, so I suspect that Glads is trying to get DRS himself. He could do that, it would aid a lot in trying to defend Tomo. Always a nice feeling when you see the car ahead of you's light starts to flash. A bit further down, ZX has gotten past Mr. Heat Gang. I'm not sure if Mr. Heat Gang had a little moment or something. Just going to go down to that because Checo right on the back of him as well. So that's XZX up to P7 now, and his attempt to recover. Weirdly enough, the next driver up the road from him is Golden Tornado, who was fighting for the lead earlier on. So just has a little moment that's going to allow Checo to get right on his gearbox going into this hairpin. And we've seen Checo's front line, straight line speed. Oh no, he's a bit wide on exit, Checo. There he goes again. Can he do it from the same sort of distance back? Difference is now he doesn't have energy like he did against Bob Dylan earlier on. So, yeah, I'm confident that if he'd have got out that corner properly instead of running wide, that I think whatever downforce he is using, he is struggling with cornering a little bit. So X there has a little bit of oversteer. It recovers it nicely, and Glads picks up a 3-second penalty. Oh, and XZX is round. That's on that right-hander. Told you to expect spinners there. That's the first one in the race, I think. I'm not sure that somebody did have a spin earlier on, but I think it was just before the right-hander. I'm not sure. XLX spins that one round. Mr. Heat Gang, Checo and Bob Dylan all battling there in turn one, and it looks like Bob's come out on top of that one and is in P7, Checo P8, and Mr. Heat Gang P9. However, Mr. Heat Gang is penalty free as opposed to the other two that have both got a penalty. Now, when Checo overtook Bob Dylan earlier on, he was this far back and absolutely flew up onto him. See how quickly he's catching him now, but again, unlike earlier on, he doesn't have any energy, and he's run wide again, and that's allowed Mr. Heat Gang up into P8. Heat Gang will now have a go at getting past Bob Dylan. The actual battle for the win here was really heated up. You got Jan is leading by half a second from Glads. Tom has just fallen off of the back, but only by just over a second now, basically. Winter Place is 6 tenths behind him. Delatrin's 3.5 tenths behind him. So top 5 are very, very close. Gone down some smart stopping for pit stops. I might suggest it's a little bit early. We're on to lap 10. Could potentially see medium tyres starting to pit here. But I suggest it's probably a little bit early. But they definitely get a decent undercut. That's what you know, they're looking. So really the most likely pitter you would have thought would be Delatrin, because he potentially looked to undercut all those ahead. So the fact that Tomo is just showing little signs that he's just starting to drop off a little bit now from the front two. And here comes Mr. Heat Gang on Bob Dylan then. And he's got that done before he reached the braking zone. So up into P7 for Mr. Heat Gang. He has run wide. And that's allowed Bob Dylan to come back through. They have a bit of contact. Maybe a little bit clumsy from Mr. Heat Gang on that one, to be honest. He run wide, I think. Once he's made the mistake, he probably should have allowed the position to go to Bob. But anyway, XLX is benefiting from it as he's gotten past Checo and Bob Dylan. And he's going to be straight onto Mr. Heat Gang now. DRS. Look, goes to the outside of turn 1, and it's just going to be to try a little switchback. So, I think really, probably just needs to wait until the straight. Oh, Heat Gang gets a little out of sorts there. Oh, sets a free yellow, and I believe that's Pick a Loco as he was in his quest to try and get the gap at the back down a bit. So here we go then. RS open. There we go. Side by side into the left-hander. Looks like XLX is just a bit ahead at this point, but Mr. Heat Gang with the inside here. But then, of course, XLX will have the inside into this really tight left-hander. And, oh, that's Bob Dylan spinning just at the bottom of the screen there. And, let's get it going as the pit stops are starting to happen. Right, so we've got Golden Tornado, Glads, and Delatrine all into the pits. So Winter Place has stayed out. He's going to do an extra lap. And I guess try and attempt an overcut, but I think that would be very difficult on 11-lap-old mediums, to be honest. Bob Dylan, after that spin, has decided to pit as well. You may have well been coming in the way. But I expect because of the spin, he's probably said, well, actually, I'll just come in now because the tyres are probably overheated. So, may as well come in. Right, XZX on the back of Golden Tornado, but Golden Tornado's just come out of the pits, of course. So, they end up battling again, whereas earlier on it's for the lead. It's currently for P6, and ultimately not really a battle because XZX has got a pit. Tornado wants to defend it, and now I think if XZX had caught him a bit earlier on in the straight, then I don't think he'd been that worried about defending it, because he'd have known XZX would have got out the way when he pits in a way. But because he was reaching him quite late in the straight, it was reasonably easy to defend, so why not do it? So Winter Place then is in. Now he's on his exit, and has he got an overcut? I think the overcut's worked. That is Glads and Delatrine. So, well, no, it's not quite worked then, is it? Because he's obviously going to need to heat these tyres up as well. I think if it's worked for anyone, Delatrine's the one that's benefited from all this. He's now right on the back of Glads. If you remember, Delatrine was P5 going into the pit stops. He's now P4, but he's on the back of the guy that was P2. DRS here. Enabling to catch up to the gearbox, but I don't think he's going to get him close enough for a move. And no, indeed he wasn't. And I'll have to wait another lap or so. So then, I believe Jan and Tomo have probably got about another 3 laps to do. Well, 2 laps actually, because they're just crossing the line now. So, yeah, I expect they'll be doing another 2 laps. They could potentially pit the end of this lap. But it might leave them a little bit susceptible later in the race, towards the end. Not out the realms of possibility, though, for them to pit the end of this lap and get to the end. So, Tornado sets fastest lap. Just looking down. Oh, let's go down to Baz because he was on the back of Heat Gang, but he's had a spin in our favourite right-hander. Yeah, as I say, it's not just these guys that are struggling with that right-hander this evening. It's every league that I commentate on or drive in. Everybody struggles with it this season. Honestly, I don't know why it's so much more difficult in this game than it was on F1 21. Delatrine, who's still very much on the back of Glads. Now, the things that really could come into play here are Delatrine and Tomo. So the 2 Haas drivers are both penalty free still. Glads and Jan both have a penalty, so sure they do only have the 1 penalty each, but I don't want to bring those up just yet. We'll leave that till later in the race. Come down here as XZX makes a move on Checo. That's XZX into P9. He's now penalty free, of course, because he pitted and served his 5-second penalty. So right now he's penalty free. It's Golden Tornado now has caught onto the back of Winter Place. So it's this one, and there's Delatrine. I think if we go to Delatrine, there's a little bit further along the track. Not much further, only 3 seconds up the road. But, up the road they are. Delatrine has to track extend a little bit there to stop the spin. Not close enough here for Delatrine. I think we can definitely say that. What about Golden Tornado on Winter Place? So no, nobody close enough that time round. This is actually the leaders. So this is Jan and Tomo. They now find themselves on lap 16. Now, I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm absolutely amazed that Tomo didn't pit the end of that lap. I may feel he could get him on track, but end of lap 15, 13 laps on mediums is easy to go to the end. I don't quite understand the thinking behind that. They definitely got past him with an undercut, you know, unless you make, you know, barring any particularly bad mistakes sort of thing. But he may get him here. Looked to me like Jan ran a bit wide, but it's given him a sort of slingshot effect, so he's actually got down the straight pretty well, Jan. I think the problem for Tomo now, though, is well, I think surely Jan's gonna pit this lap. This should be the pit stop lap. So surely Tomo's missed a trick by not pitting a lap early. So he's got that penalty. So there's Jan. So ultimately, Tomo just needs to be on the back of him at the end, not ahead of him. That's just got the gap down to about 17.5 seconds, but it's a really short pit stop here. So off to the pit lane that goes Jan from the lead. Tomo is effectively going to try and overcut. Tomo pits then, Glads is down to the final corner. And pretty close, I think, because Jan's pit box is pretty close to the exit, so I think Jan, there he is. Glads is going to get past, but it's going to be close between the two behind. Delatrine does get him. Ultimately, Jan's tyres do need to be heated up. It's going to take probably half a lap around here. Maybe 2/3 or 3/4 of a lap, but mediums obviously heat a lot quicker than the hards. But there's no doubt about it, Jan is going to be very, very quick now. Now the pitting a lap earlier, this could actually really hurt Jan. The overcut effectively from Tomo could work. With Jan coming out in traffic as Heat Gang leaves the session. Bite him back. So into the pits comes Tomo. He's going to react. He had to in a way, but it'll be complete luck really. But it could work. Oh, it's going to work surely if they're only around here. Into the box. Glads is on the final corner. Out. It's going to be very similar to last lap, isn't it? Yeah, not quite as close, so it looks like Jan does get him. He does get back past. Only just though, look. How close was that? That's unbelievable. I think, in my mind, I absolutely think Jan did the right thing in pitting. When he did, he wasn't to know he was going to end up stuck behind. Fortunately, the engineer in the game is not that great, so he wasn't to know. Oh, and Tomo picks up a penalty. And Bob Dylan picks up another one there. So Jan now up into P2. How teammate are these two? Because ultimately, well, Delatrine is a reserve, so there's no reason really why he'd act like a teammate to Tomo, because he's only reserving in that car. So we may not feel that inclined to get out of the way of Tomo, to be honest, and the fact that he's got a penalty, he's penalty free, I mean, Delatrine, may mean he's not going to be in any rush to get out of the way anyway. Oh, and Glads runs wide on the blind left-hander, and that's allowed Jan through, and you would think now that it's all going to be a case of how quickly Jan pulls away. These guys are all very fast drivers, so they will absolutely be there ready to pounce on Jan if he does make a mistake. As Delatrine makes a mistake there. There's Tomo to get side by side with him. Tomo, with the extra grip on those mediums, manages to get that move to work. So, that wasn't Delatrine letting a teammate through at all. That was he's made a mistake, and that's why Tomo's got through. So, I think really, for me personally, I think it is Jan's to lose from here. Piccoloco is into the pits, and he's going to retire out of the session. So I do apologise to the other drivers that were sort of sticking on these top four now, but sorry, top five, because Winter Place has joined the back of this as well, and that's Golden Tornado, so it's going to be a top six in a moment. Well, it already is. He is within the 1 second, so it's the top six, all battling this out for a potential win. So Delatrine and Golden Tornado are penalty free. And that could, if they could keep it like that to the end, that could mean they both end up on the podium. But Jan has eked out just over a second now. Obviously, Tomo wants past Glads, and he's going to push for that. He's going to get his opportunity here. So, into the hairpin. Beautiful medium tyres are going to give him loads of grip, open up DRS. Little splash of energy, a little bit more, probably going to wish he used it a bit more. That's clearly running a lower wing. So what Tomo needed to really use his energy there to get past, and didn't want to use it, and therefore hasn't got past, so he knows P3, and that's going to allow Jan effectively at least a half a lap to get further ahead. So half a lap, because obviously there's a DRS zone here on the pit straight, so this will be his first opportunity on this lap, and this time energy was deployed a bit quicker, but look how quickly the speed levels out. Tomo's heart will still be saying to him that he can still win this race. Tomo's head needs to say to him, is it more important for me to win this race or get past Glads for P2? Because really I think the answer is to get past Glads, and in order to do that I think he needs to save a little bit of energy. Just to mention, Winter Place has just fallen back a little bit, just over a second and a half behind Belladrine now, and Golden Tornado is on the back of him. Here comes Tomo again, goes to the outside, again not able to get past. Ooh, a little touch this time, wasn't hard enough to cause any actual issues. I don't know if that was a contact that made Tomo get a little bit wobbly from his teammate there, but, or whether he just had a little bit of an oversteer moment or something, I'm not sure, but it was okay in a way. As you can see, but that little moment's allowed Winter Place, it's not quite within the 1 second, but he has caught back up. And Jan now over 2 seconds ahead of the group. I guess really for Jan this is playing out perfectly for him. The more these two have to battle each other, the less they worry about him. And he can pretty much cruise away from them. He won't be having to... well, it's a strange fit. You feel like he's probably pushing, but without being pushed by another driver, he's probably not to the absolute limits. So here we go again. Finally, we see Glad's light flash a bit. Tomo must be thinking to herself, what on earth are the wings have you got on that? How are you so fast? Super drive in front of both of them. Do love to see this. And now it's going to look to the inside. Oh, Glads gets a little out of shape. Going around the right hander, and that has then finally allowed Tomo through. But it's also given Jan a 3-second advantage. It's the gaps between them all. Sorry, Pete, I've only just seen your message saying right there. Nico supporting Piccoloco, but he's out into the pits and retired. As we start reaching the late stages of this race now, so lap 23 at the moment. Go on to lap 24, so it's going to be 5 laps remaining at the end of this one. As, I think ZXZ has, sorry, XZX has had a little moment. So he's recovered that in a way. So extremely good pace, and launched off the line did XZX to take the lead on lap 1, but mistakes. Primarily picking up a drive-through under virtual safety car that cost him that opportunity. We have another yellow. This time it's Bob Dylan, and that's actually allowed Baz through into P11. There's Ryder who told us he quite fancy a few safety cars in this race. isn't getting his wish. We haven't had any. Well, the virtual, but that's it. Here's Golden Tornado then. Who's very much on the back of Winter Place now. Who's not within a second. He's 1.8 behind Delatrine now, Winter Place. So, obviously, Golden Tornado, if we can, would love to get past Winter Place. So try and get onto the back of the front three, or front four. Follow has taken 4 attempts out of Jan since he's gotten into P2, but we need to... Oh, Tomo! Ah! Damn it, I missed him because I skipped to try and see him and missed him. Oh, dear. It's a full safety car, so that is going to bunch everybody up. Yeah, we're not going to get a chance to see him. It's like the left-hander at the end of the straight. So we're on the straight here with XZX, and the left-hander at the end of this straight is where he has gone round. I didn't see it, of course, as you know, so I've no idea what happened to him, whether it's just a little mistake and spun into the barrier or not, but whatever it was, he's brought out the safety car and in they come to switch to softs. Apart from Golden Tornado, who's gone to mediums, he didn't get the memo. Perhaps didn't have a set of softs available. XZX doesn't have a gap. Mr. Heatgang's not far behind him. So is he going to come in? He is going to come in. So let's just bring out the penalties now. None of them have multiples of 5, so nobody could serve anything in the pits. Heatgang did come in. So him and XZX are both on 6 seconds. Checo's on 3 seconds. He's continued on through, so he's going to take track position over the guys that he could potentially beat. There's also the fact that these guys have got a long way to catch up, and his safety car ain't going to stay out forever. So it will do lap 26, I believe. So I think it should stay out another lap after this one. Baz and Bob Dylan have come in. The safety car is approaching the left-hander at the end of the straight already, so... just to be honest, Baz and Bob Dylan are going to need to absolutely bomb this round. They can't hang about. They want to get up to the pack. They're going to have to drive like it's a normal lap. Change of position did happen there between Ghost Rider and XZX. I'm not sure why or how or what happened, but what on earth is going on there? I don't know what these two are playing at. Well, I say these two, it's XZX, to be honest. Playing a fool here, really. I don't quite know what he's trying to do, what he's trying to achieve. He doesn't achieve anything. Just quite being silly. What have we got going on? What did my pace by accidentally forgetting to lower my pressures after quality? Yep, that'll do it. I actually did that so many times. I don't raise my pressures for quality anymore. Yeah, I I'd rather just be a little bit, you know, I'd rather just have slightly lower temperatures in quality. Um, and high wings isn't helping, that won't do. So, yeah. There we go. So that's Tyrannical Teapot. We're on your screens, guys. That's Golden Tornado. Who are actually on with at the moment. So, right, Baz has caught the back of the safety car, and there's the confirmation the safety car is in this lap, and Bob Dylan is very, very close now. So they have caught the back of the safety car. I wasn't absolutely sure they were going to be honest. So Bob could see it just there, so he's happy now. It's... oh goodness me, what is going on? Well, after all that's been caught on stream, and that was XNX hitting the back of Ghost Rider and spinning him round there. So we're back underway. Bellatrine absolutely in with a chance of winning this race now. And looks like Jan caught him napping a little bit. So he's already pulled out 1.3. Ghost Rider must be fuming. I would be. Every part of me would want to hunt him down and just take him out. Yeah, I don't condone, I don't do that sort of thing, but I would be absolutely fuming right now. He's acted the fool under the whole safety car there as XLX, and it's culminated in the end, accidentally or not, it has culminated in the end that he spun the driver ahead of him round. Quite honestly, with his behaviour under the safety car, I would absolutely come down on him like a ton of bricks if I was steward in the league. I'm not, luckily for him. Anyway, we head on to the final lap, and as it stands right now, Delatrine is going to take victory. Just make sure he doesn't pick up a penalty on this last lap, but he's got to drive quick enough to stay within the 3 seconds of Jan. Tornado there, getting past XNX. And this sets to yellow, and that's Ghost Rider, who, to be quite honest with you, is probably so annoyed right now. I've never said anything like this before on stream, but I hope this guy crashes. Never said anything like that before on stream, but I do. In a way, Jan coming round the final few corners is going to cross the line in first. Sets a free yellow. So he crosses the line P1. He is going to drop down to P2 as Delatrine takes the win. Gladstone to 3, Golden Tornado up to 4, Winter Place 5, XZX P6, but don't deserve to be in the final standings if you ask me. Baz P7, Heat Gang in P8, Checo 9, Bob Dylan in 10. Ghost Rider's going to come round, finishing P. Well, he's going to get promoted to P10 actually out of Bob, and Bob will be P11. Well, ultimately, I don't want to dwell on that one incident there and under the safety car, but that's put a massive dampener for me personally on this race, because it was a really fantastic race. We were a bit short on drivers, but only 13 today racing, but nonetheless, it was a really, really good COTA race. Just until that moment, until then, that on the safety car where ZX just decided to act like an idiot under the whole safety car, and ultimately it culminated in him spinning Ghost Rider around. It was in P7, which is a really good race for Ghost Rider, so it's a shame. Congratulations to our top three. So there we go. Delatrine wins due to the penalties. Jan finishes with P2, Glad's in P3, and fastest lap with a 1:35.286. Golden Tornado in P4 in the end, despite those tyre pressures giving him trouble throughout the race. Winter place in P5. Forget the next guy. Baz P7, Heat Gang 8, Checo 9. Ghost Rider in 10 in the end, promoted due to penalties ahead of Bob Dylan. Snip to the race director. There we go, just in case the stewards need it. Yeah, Mr. Heat Gang, throughout the whole safety car, he kept overtaking Ghost Rider and then letting him back pass and then overtaking him again, being an idiot, and then eventually it culminated in that. So why he's doing that, I don't know. He's being an idiot. But as long as he has a bit of fun, it doesn't matter if he ruins other people's races, does it? Not in his mind, anyway. In a way, guys, say let's just put a bit of a dampener on what was a really, really good race at COTA. So, well done to the guys that raced tonight. And congratulations, of course, to the top three. And other than that, let's hope next week we can get a few more drivers on the track. No reason why it was so low tonight. I don't know what's happened for people not to turn up, but there you go. For myself, guys, I will be back live at 8 o'clock for HRF1. A bit before 8. I should be live around about 10 to 10 to something like that, to do the pre-qualifying interview as well, where we have a bit of fun. I'll be back live then. Other than that, guys, well done to the top three. We'll see you next week, 6 o'clock again. Good night, God bless. Enjoy what's left of your weekends, and have a safe week at work, or school, or college, or whatever you do.